What's up, boLove? It's your girl Nicole Nayu, and welcome to another video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and join the boLove gang. Okay.
You ain't nothing but a dog player.
So on today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to pass your learner's license on your first try. So the first thing I'm going to be speaking on are the materials that you're going to need to study. So first of all, you're going to need your K53 book that is available at Pick n Pay, Checkers, Spar, CNA or Exclusive Books. The prices vary from 79 Rand to 120 depending on the store that you bought it from. And yeah, that's basically what you need in terms of materialistic things. And to help you, you're going to need the K53 app. I'm gonna put it over here. Yeah, the K53 app. Oh, actually there's two. For me, I use two apps. So it's this one and then this one. They're both K53 apps. And the difference between those apps are that this one, obviously it's blue. So this one has easier type of questions and it's just for understanding the concepts of what you're supposed to be studying. And then for this one, it has nicer tests because they're not as easy, and that's how they ask in the proper test. It's not easy for easy questions. These are just easy to grasp the concept. This is for practicing and application. But first of all, when you're going to book for your test, you have to carry your ID and have 2 pictures, and usually there are people standing outside the booking station or the testing station actually that take photos of you and print it out right away. So you're gonna need those pictures. You're gonna need your ID, obviously. If you don't know your ID number, some people don't, and that's okay. And you're gonna need a pen because there's like one or two pens there, and people are usually just rushing to just, so we might make mistakes trying to give the next person the pen, so just bring your own pen. Take your time, so you can take your time. Okay, and then next you're going to do an eye test. This is the day of the bookings there. You're going to do an eye test. I failed my eye test 30 times wearing my glasses. But it's not a train smash. They will refer you to an optometrist to get a proper test so that you can get a certificate. But I did mine 3 times and I passed it the 3rd time. I just think that I don't know what was happening. I don't know, maybe I was tired, I'm not sure. So that's what you do then, and then you go to the cashiers, and you pay a fee of 120 I think. It depends on which region you're writing in. So yeah, I had to pay 120. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's more expensive. So it depends on the region that you're writing. Just bring 200 Rand. Just in case. In terms of the test, it is a 60-minute test, which is an hour. The test consists of 3 sections. The first section is rules of the road. Second section is controls of a vehicle. Yeah, but vehicle controls. I don't know, but just controls. Okay, and then the third one is road signs. So for the controls, there's going to be 8 questions. For the road signs, there's going to be 28 questions. For the rules of the road, there's going to be 28 questions. In order to pass the minimum requirements are, for the rules of the road, you have to get 22 out of 28. For road signs, you have to get 23 out of 28, yes. And then for your controls, you have to get 6 out of 8, right? So the trick is that, not the trick, the thing is that you cannot, for example, get, let's say 8 out of 8 for your controls and then get 22 out of 28 for your road signs. You automatically fail the entire test. So you have to reach the minimum, yeah, the required minimum, yeah, minimum. What? You have to reach the minimum requirements for each section in order to pass. Okay, so for me it took 3 weeks or 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I'm not sure, I can't remember properly, to learn for my learner's license. I know some people they come there with the mindset of, this is easy, I know how to drive, I don't have to really study for this and all of that. It is not an easy test, but it's also not difficult. You just have to take time and actually study properly, because it's not just about the controls, which are obviously easy. Some people don't know the controls, but they are the easiest section, part of the easiest section. Yeah, they are part of the easiest section. And the road signs are also quite easy, but the rules of the road, yo, like you really have to learn it off by heart, not cram, but actually understand the rules of the road, you know, because you are going to be using it in real life. You know, you're going to be applying these rules in real life. My study is that I started off with the easy part, which was the controls. So I started off with that, and I made sure that I, you know, familiarize myself with the controls and what their uses are, because that is how they're going to be asking you in the K50. No, not the K50, in the test. Okay, so first of all, I would go to my K53 book. I will learn synthetic science. I will learn the controls. I will take time. Maybe I will take 30 minutes, because it's not a lot. I'll take 30 minutes to learn this. I keep saying science. The controls. I will learn the controls, and then I would go to my app, either one of these apps. I would go to either one of the apps that I showed here, and I would test myself. And I would test myself over and over again to get 8 out of 8. I know that the minimum requirement is 6 out of 8, but it's better to, you know, aim for 8 out of 8 just in case. So the next section I studied for was the road signs, right? So that it took time. I didn't learn all of them in a space of one day or a few hours, anything. It took me like maybe an entire week, but not because I was just studying for the road signs, but because I used to come back to it. Like every time I studied, I would come back to it and, like, you know, let me remind myself what signs these are and what they mean and stuff like that. So I would come back to them every time. And then after learning maybe a page of them, or maybe I would learn the command signs, I'll go and test myself. So the trick is that you study, go test yourself. You study, go test yourself, so that you are familiar with the format of how they ask the questions, you know, because it's one thing to actually know the word, but it's another thing to actually apply it. Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I used was YouTube. I know people don't really encourage using YouTube to study for anything, but I did. I did that for my road signs because I like hearing people, you know, the information goes in better when I hear someone say it, because I can recall and like, oh my god, I remember this person saying something about the sign, you know. So I used YouTube for my road signs, and yeah, it helped. I remembered. It did help a lot. And yeah, so I do encourage you using YouTube as well, not just YouTube, but also using your book, using the app, and also using YouTube, so that yeah, you can recall the signs that you listen to. And then I saved the hardest for last. Yeah, that took some time. It took some time because yeah, it took some time because first of all, I had no idea what the rules of the road what about, I was just like blank, so I had to learn from scratch. It wasn't like the road science and the controls, because obviously I'm familiar with the controls, I know them obviously, and that's kind of like general knowledge. And then the road signs, obviously when my mom is driving or someone in my family is driving, I can see the actions that they are taking when they see some type of road sign, you know. So also they're kind of easy, like a stop sign, you know what a stop sign is and all of that, you know. But then the rules of the road, they are quite specific. You need to know it to the T. You need to know it to the T. You need to know how far you're supposed to park from a fire hydrant, like not just estimating how far. You need to know the exact number, the amount of meters that you're supposed to park away from the fire hydrants and stuff like that. So it does take a lot of time. And then I would encourage you to just take your time with that. Just get the easy stuff out of the way and take your time and study for that properly. But then do not forget to go through that work that you already know, because sometimes we forget to go through the other work because we're like, yeah, I know it, you know. So we just don't do it. That is how I studied. So in summary, I would study from my K53 and go over to the apps that I mentioned. Might put it up here again. And I would practice. Also in the book, the K53 book, there were tests in there. Also do that. I encourage testing yourself and practicing so much. I encourage it. Like practice, so that you're familiar with the type of questions they ask and how they ask the question, so that when you get to the test, you don't like yell it there, because you're like, I know the side, but I don't remember how it's supposed to be used or what's its function or what. You see what I mean? So practice. What I'm gonna talk about is the day of the test. So the day that you pay, you get a receipt and an A4 paper that tells you what time and when you're supposed to be writing, when you're going to be writing your test. Okay? So so just have that paper there with you that day. Bring your ID as usual. Just take your ID everywhere. I don't understand people that don't put their IDs everywhere. I put my ID everywhere. So take your ID. Also bring a pen still, and just get there early. And be prepared. Don't forget to pray as well before you write. And it is a test that is digital, so you're going to be writing on a computer. Well, that's what I know. I'm not sure if there's still people that are writing like pen on paper test, but I wrote a test that was on a computer. And and I got out there and I got my papers. And I passed. So big ups to me. So so that is the end of the video. I don't think I missed out on anything. I didn't go into depth with a lot of things. I just gave you all the basics and what you should use, the materials, how to study, what are the requirements for you to pass, and what to bring on the day of the test, and what to bring when you're booking for the test. So that's about it. And if you're planning on writing your learner's license test anytime soon, good luck to you, and I'm wishing you well, and I hope this video was helpful to you. And if you do pass, please go drop me a DM and tell me that you passed, and you use some of these tips and tricks. And I'm gonna leave my Instagram handle here. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.
Yeah. You ain't nothing but a